shrill scream, and Carrie's like, mold!
No.
Along these roads we roam, we find adventure through traveling, camping, boondocking, and exploring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 20. Can you believe that?
Already.
My name is Russ.
And I'm Kerry.
And we are the roads we roam. We're full-time RVers. We do this vlogcast Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. On Saturdays, we have a Faces and Places video. We take the camera pretty much wherever we go and we show you kind of what we see. It's a peek into our life throughout the week. Feel free to check our newest one up. That is the Hermitage one in Tennessee. We went to see Andrew Jackson's home. We also have 2 opportunities to visit with us live. And that is the Friday Night Wine, which is 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we have Coffee with Kerry and Russ, which takes place on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern. We've done that 2 weeks in a row so far, and each time we do it, we're getting more and more participation. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun, and we invite you to come visit us.
Well, today we had just an amazing sunny day.
Oh, man.
Very productive.
It was so nice out, wasn't it? 70 degrees.
It was gorgeous.
And sunshine.
Mm-hmm. Which we've been wanting for a while.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Starting the day with sun is always a good day.
Yeah, it makes you feel a little bit more invigorated and generated. We ended up doing some cleaning, and I finally got the Blue Boy tank storage thing figured out. We'll do that in a video coming up this week.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it Wednesday, where we're going to do a new twist on a walkthrough through the Little Guy Max, showing you how we use it and what type of modifications that we've made.
How we use it from the point of a full-timer.
Exactly. Which led us to the topic for today, and we're going to jump to this one pretty quick. But the topic for today are modifications that we would like to see on our Little Guy Max.
To make it perfect for us. Now, these mods may not work for you, but for us, the way we live and the way we are using our Little Guy Max, these would make it perfect for us.
Now, there are mods that we haven't done yet, so the video that we're going to do are just simple.
And more than likely, these are mods that we'll never do. You know, some of them we could do, but a lot of them you can't do.
I don't know. Well, and then to some of these, they've already been upgraded on the
2019s. Yeah.
So it shows that Liberty Outdoors is Johnny on the spot was trying to listen to their customers and some of the modifications that they wanted to do.
You know, if a company listens to their customers,
I think they're
successful. Always going to do well.
All right. So I mentioned this, I think, on our Friday Night Wine. So I'm going to throw it out there again until it happens.
Okay.
One of the first mods that I would like to see changed on our LGM, right underneath the dinette seat, right when you walk in the door to the right, there's a storage compartment. You can open up the cabinet door, and it's nice, deep.
There's 2 entrances for that.
Yeah, you can lift up the seat covers and then lift up the what do you call it?
It's a slab of wood.
The slab of wood. And
underneath
you can
the cushion.
open it, and so we would put our cases of soda or beer or just other. I store my coffee maker and my pressure cooker.
We used to put our dog food in there too. That was a place for the dog food. So it's a nice
big thing. However, it is really deep. So now we have our dinette area set up like a sofa. If I want to get the stuff way in the back there, my arm is too short to reach that far back.
Yeah.
So my mod is I would love to have a door from the outside.
Kind of like the pass-through doors in the back, right?
Kind of like the pass-through door, but that way you can access this storage unit. So you can access it from the inside as well as the outside if you wanted to.
Yeah, that would be a fantastic addition.
That's my, if I could just pick any one of those, that's a quick and easy one.
I like that, you know, and kind of on that same idea, it would be nice if they had one underneath the sink area, and maybe you could have your garbage there.
Oh, okay, yes. So when we were just kind of window shopping at another one, I saw on another RV, up on their little kitchen area, they had this little circle cut out.
Yep.
And I looked at what it was, and it was the thing for their trash. And I was trying to figure out, well, how do you pull your trash bag out? And then we were walking around the outside, and I saw this little compartment, and you opened up the compartment from the outside.
That's your trash
and you pull your trash
entrance
out.
door.
That is brilliant.
I think something like that in the little guy would be good.
I think
just a tiny one. Yeah, just a little one.
I think that they have enough room that they might be able to do something like that. One of the things, so when we were shopping for an RV, I told Russ there were 2 things that I wanted in an RV. I wanted to be able to fit our queen size mattress because I loved our mattress. Check. We got that. And an oven. Didn't get that.
Yeah.
So if I could find a way to do an oven in here, I'd be very happy. I don't know if we could do a convection oven where the microwave is.
Sure
I thought about that earlier.
Yeah.
So.
You know, it comes down to, and that was a have to have at one point. But when we started seeing what was available and the totality of the features on other rigs, we decided that we could, well, you decided that you could forego the oven because there were so many other positives about the Little Guy Max.
But I do miss baking cookies.
Yes, and I miss you baking cookies as well.
All important cookies. Let's see. So the next one on the list was something that Russ mentioned. Put more USB ports in the bed area.
Yeah, right now there's only 2, and they're both on the side that's closest to the front of the rig. It would be nice because if you want to plug your phone in, or if I want to plug my phone in,
has to reach over.
It's got to go over or under, and it's kind of difficult. It'd be nice if there was one on each side of the bed, and maybe down by the TV as well. You can never have too many USB ports.
Is true. Okay, I'll give you that. Now this is another one that I think that they've upgraded on the 2019.
Okay.
12-volt TV. At least one of them. I believe they did that.
Okay.
I'll have to double check. But if they haven't, that's a definite list.
Yeah, one or the other, I think, should be 12 volt.
So that way you can still...
That way, if you're plugged in, or if you're not plugged in, and you're running off a battery, you can still watch TV. Here's another one. Have the USBs, some of them 12 volts.
That one, I think, is more important than the TV.
Yeah, because right now, they're all 120. You have to be plugged into shore power to be able to plug your USBs in and charge stuff.
For example, there was one day that Russ went out with one of his buddies, and I was in a parking lot with the LGM. Didn't have access to any other way. My phone ran out of juice. My iPad ran out of juice. You
could have turned the car on and plugged them into the car.
No, because I didn't want to sit there and let the car run forever, and it was hot out, so I didn't want to do that. Now, okay, this one is just Russ's getting crazy and over and above.
Well, there was no limit to this. This was to make it
like
perfect for you.
So Russ came up with this idea. You know how in traditional teardrops, that back end can lift up and there's that kitchen there?
Yeah.
Russ's idea is to have that back wall just be able to lift up so it can be open.
Exactly, and have a hard thing. And the reason this is because the way the teardrop is shaped, like this, the bed is back here in the rear, and you lose a lot of space because you can't wedge your body completely in that. If you're the one that's sleeping on the side that's towards the rear, you lose a lot of space. So it would be neat if they could just kind of, hit a latch and it comes up straight, and then the rest of it just teardrops over the top of that. That way you could squeeze your body in there a little bit. It's not such an angle.
To be fair, though, with our higher mattress, we've eliminated some of the
True,
space.
yeah, I think, and we've added a good, 9 inches to the
close to the
height.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not
That's
such a
our
big
fault.
deal on people that have a regular size mattress in there. But for our mattress, that would be fantastic and would make it perfect.
Now, the Cubbies that they have are very cute. However, it's somewhat impractical if you're moving a lot, because when you store stuff in there, unless you have these special little containers that fit in there, every time you hit the road, you have to worry about the things falling out. So if there's a way to enclose them, and that's one of the things I want to try to do.
Well, I think you've come up with a couple ideas that we're going to touch on.
I'll be practicing with a couple different ideas. But if they had that resolved already, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We have shower door not being see-through.
Yeah.
I would like that. I mean, I've got a shower curtain that goes along from the inside.
So to be fair, it's frosted or beveled, so you can't really see through it, but you can still see that somebody's sitting on the toilet or somebody's standing. You could probably, make out features.
Oh, you know what would be really cool? You know that material that looks like glass, but then you hit a button and then it instantly color. Opaque?
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be really
there are a bunch of ways. You see this all the time on the Facebook page. People put this adhesive stuff to it to make it look like stained glass. We didn't like that just because we thought it might peel off. We took the route of putting
for me, the stained glass is still too transparent.
Yeah, a shower curtain across it. So there are ways to, but we're just talking about to make it perfect for us.
Larger tanks.
What would make this perfect for us, because we do plan on doing boondocking, and is larger tanks to be able to hold fresh water and water that we've used just a little bit longer.
A little bit longer. This is when you brought up the double battery system.
Yeah.
Which ties into a couple other things. Explain.
Yeah. Well, the more battery power you have, the longer you can stay out. So I would like a double battery system and another 100 watts on top of solar. I just think that, again, boondocking.
If we had that, would you be able to run the AC or no?
No.
No.
You have to have a lot of batteries and a lot of solar power.
Okay, let's cover the whole thing in solar panels.
Guess what?
It's still not enough.
No.
Dang it. See, that my ignorance, when we first started shopping, I was thinking if we had a solar thing, we don't need to plug anywhere. We don't need a generator. That's not true.
Yeah, you would have to have a lot of solar power. We would probably have to have a tow-behind trailer that was fully covered with solar and a big bank of huge batteries inside that huge trailer.
A lot heavy, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so one that I've been reading about that I would like to have, and they're starting to do this in RVs now, built-in cell boosters.
Yeah, with technology and people like us who do work from the road, that's huge.
So if they could offer that in this, or if we could integrate that, I think that's something that would make it, for us, be a lot better.
We can buy them, but if it was an option, maybe, kind of like the Rough Rider was an option, that would be fantastic. Because when you're buying, setting up to buy a new trailer, another $600-800 isn't that big of a deal. But when you're looking at a really nice, cell booster or something, and you're having to spend $600 separately, then it's like, do I really want to spend that money?
Well, that's where we are right now. Thinking of all the little things to add on.
Guess what? It's going to happen. We're just trying to delay it as long as we can.
Now, this one, well, the next two, I think, are a result of us doing this cool. We get stuck in cold weather, so I would like to make it 4 seasons.
Yeah. Or
as close to that as possible, with warmer floors.
Yeah.
And then tank insulation or wraps.
Yeah.
So that's
and
something.
And it's heated. I think it has a wire that heats to keep it warm.
Making this more 4-season friendly, so if we do get stuck in that cold weather again, that would kind of make it. And
yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. We've been in this when it's been 16 degrees, and it's been warm with a single space heater. However, Carrie's right. The floor gets cold. We are dry camping at that point because we do not trust water anywhere in the pipes or anything. So, yeah, that would make a huge difference.
But, all of these little things are just like, it wasn't anything that stopped us from buying it.
No, this is still our rig.
And I love it. We're 6 weeks into it now.
Yeah, again.
And I love it.
Again, just making things right for us. Perfect for us.
And you know what's great, though?
I think there is a perfect rig.
We weren't really crazy. So each one of these things, aside from opening up the back end that you wanted, are things we could do. And we could do over time.
And I think there are things that a lot of people have done already. And that LG or Liberty Outdoors is already doing.
Yeah,
with the
like
new
I said, the larger tanks, the 12-volt TVs, the USB ports. They're listening, which is fantastic. And so people getting the newer ones now will already have some of these. Following up on on that, our comments and our updates and announcements.
Always love
So
those.
Liz DC1, she is somebody that just put her money down on a new LGM.
That's right.
We talked with her, I believe, on Friday night.
She was on one of our chats. Fantastic to hear from her.
She's getting hers from our dealer this week at the end of the week.
How exciting. You remember when we were getting ours, how excited we were?
Oh.
Yeah. And I think
could not come fast enough.
I think she got the Rough Rider package as well.
I think so.
So yeah, very happy for Liz because we know exactly how she feels.
Well, she said, excited for the idea of a tips and tricks video. So that one we're shooting for Wednesday of this week. And she said, great timing because my dealer, Paul from Beckley's, who does the LGM videos, Paul Chamberlain, the Air Force guy.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Said that my LGM should arrive this week. Likely our goal is to pick it up late in the week. So we want to hear all about it. We're excited for you.
Yep.
And once you get in it, let us know if there are any things that you would like to update.
Yeah, it might be a little while coming, but definitely looking forward to see the pictures on Facebook. I do see Liz on
I love
Facebook.
Those. I love it. Everybody looks so happy.
Yep.
When they get theirs. You know, I remember posing for ours when we got it.
So Liz, do us a favor. Tell Paul we said hello.
Yeah, we're fellow Air Force people. Yep. So
both of us.
That's right. And then Sherry Standifer said, now this is in response, Billy, that was Billy.
Billy snoring down there.
So I leave it. Wait, I need to show just to prove. See, here she is.
He needs to make sure everybody knows that wasn't a bodily function of hers.
Mine, if anybody, was you.
Hey, if to me, I would own it.
You would. Okay. So, in the coffee...
I might just start taking credit for Billy. Yeah, guys, that was me.
Please don't. In the live stream today, Coffee with Kerry and Russ, we were talking about condensation in the RV and my worry about that. And Sherry said, I leave my rooftop vent cracked open almost all of the time. It'll help keep the condensation down, especially in cooler weather. If you don't have a vent cover, get one. It's what I call a necessity. Allows you to keep the vent open when it is raining.
So we do have a vent cover.
We do. I will definitely keep that in mind and work with that. And if anybody else has any other tips, I'm thinking we have some little dehumidifier things that soak up the condensation in the air.
We've got several. We've got a couple of different brands.
But if people have other suggestions, this is my latest stressor. Somebody made the mention of mold, growing in RVs, and now I'm going to try to do everything I can to make sure there's not a speck of it ever.
Yeah, last night I'm sleeping all nice and cozy in our little guy Max, and I'm woken up with a shrill scream, and Carrie's like, mold!
No. One of our followers, Vonda, she is from Canada, and she has this great football-based podcast called Tight Ends Podcast.
Yes.
And she interviews a lot of people. She interviewed me to do part of her halftime show, and she's a fellow LGM owner.
Yeah.
And so we did the interview on Friday, and she's planning on putting that up on this Wednesday.
Yes. So we'll put links to her podcast below. And I wasn't part of the interview. I listened to a good portion of it. And I got to tell you guys, it was very informative. It was very interesting listening to Kerry talk with somebody else that wasn't me about the Liberty Guy Max, Little Guy Max. And so I think you're going to enjoy it. I think it'll be a good podcast. I don't know how she's only going to use 15 minutes of that because that conversation went on for about 30 some minutes, but all of it was good information during that whole time.
Well, the thing is, we're both so excited. We both love our trailers. We both love our Little Guy Max. And so you have two people that are just so excited about this. And she unfortunately only got to use it once before she had to store it away for the winter. I know. So she's living vicariously through us.
She's in Canada,
She's in Canada.
Yeah.
Out by Banff.
Oh, man.
I can't wait.
Beautiful country.
To get out there. Yes.
Boy.
But it was a joy to talk to Vonda, and I can't wait to see how she pieces that all together. And I listened to several of her podcasts, and they're just enjoyable, and I learn a little bit of football.
Yeah, it's she and her. Well, she has a lot of guest speakers, but her husband also is a co-host sometimes.
Occasionally.
Yep.
And they have a cute little dog, Nero. So, and I believe they've been married 23 years, and they just got a puppy for the first time with Nero just like a short while ago. Yeah. So they're taking Nero and the little guy Max as well. So.
Well, guys, definitely check that podcast out. I think you're going to enjoy it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Keep the comments, the questions coming. We love them. On many occasions, we use them as show topics. Kerry is going to tell you how you can get a hold of us.
You can get a hold of us always on our site at theroadsweroam.com. We also have Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook where you can find us. Don't forget our podcast where you can catch up on all of these vlogs through the audio files.
Exactly. You know, I got to say something here.
No.
You're getting very good at that. You remember when we first started this, we would have to start it over so many times. It would be Facebook, YouTube, Pinstagram, interest. And that was a brain block for so long. I hope I haven't just thrown it back into the mix. If that happens tomorrow, I know I'm going to be in trouble.
Well, you know, this whole thing that we're doing is new to me. Russ had his,
I've had another YouTube channel
for a while. He's used to talking to a camera, and this is very much outside of my comfort zone.
Well, I have to tell you, you're quickly becoming very good at it, better than me.
I don't know about that.
Of course, yes. There are times that I freeze when there's no talking going on, but you're able to keep the conversation going, and then I could just throw something witty in or something, or I may try to be witty that is a horrible failure. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.